Hey, welcome back to Corporate Classy, but Please Come Correct podcast. I am your host, Alberta Thomas. Listen, I woke up this morning at about 5:30. As you guys know, I'm always up early in the morning. And so I didn't speak all morning because I woke up, I drank some water, and I immediately started working on content for my podcast and just working in that space. So maybe like an hour later, I got a call from my guy, and it was the first time in me hearing my voice. And I'm like, oh my God, something is really going on with my voice. So my voice right now is a little scratchy. It doesn't really hurt as much, but I want to make sure that I introduce this episode in the moment of me writing a letter to myself. And if I have to deliver this message sounding like it's a frog in my throat, then I'm going to do that. So I will tell you, this will be episode number 10. It's so exciting. It is so exciting for me because you guys know I use each episode as a place for me to be vulnerable, for me to pretty much leave it on a table and just get it off my chest if something is on my chest, right? And so this episode and this morning and last night, as I was thinking about what I want the next episode to be, I was thinking about writing a letter to myself. And I would tell you guys, I've done this a couple of times and I've had people who actually done it as well. But writing a letter to myself and being able to share my letter that I wrote to myself with you. I want you guys to be able to see how important it is to reflect, to love on yourself, to feed yourself nothing but positive energy, and make sure you are setting yourself up with all of the positive things around you, whether it's people, the things that you look at, the things that you listen to, and just making sure you're finding that balance in your mind to be able to still care for yourself. And so I know when I challenged people before to write a letter to themselves, they were like, what am I supposed to say? I don't know what to tell myself. And I'm like, okay, if you don't know what to tell yourself, then that's a challenge in itself. And so I want to share with you guys the letter that I did wrote to myself and offer up a challenge to you so you can be able to do the same thing for yourself, because it is so important that you love on yourself in so many different forms and ways, and do it in such a graceful, loving way. And understand to give yourself grace when you're being challenged, to give yourself grace and love and excitement when things are going good, right? So I want to share with you my letter, and that's what I'm going to share right now. Hey, Alberta. Girl, you know it's totally cool to write a letter to yourself, right? It's like a high five to your soul. And let's be real, it's all about sprinkling that positivity, love, and all those good vibes like confetti. Alberta, you are seriously a superstar. In this crazy world of negativity, obstacles, and biases, you are there shining bright, bouncing back stronger, growing like no one's business, and spreading grace like it's your superpower. Remember when you asked for strength, patience, and more faith? Looks like the universe heard you loud and clear and has been throwing challenges your way. But guess what? You're smashing them one by one, like the boss you are. You're the kind of person who lights up a room just by walking in. Your voice is like a melody that demands attention. Your spirit is unstoppable. Keep on loving yourself hard. Shower yourself with kindness, grace, and all the things you dream of. And for those who join you on your journey, let them add to your awesomeness, bringing tools and support to amplify your purpose. Every day, remind yourself of your beautiful, your love for who you are, and your passion for becoming even more amazing. Being that giving soul you admire, living by the very standards you set. Let's pray that you keep flourishing. Water your life's garden with positivity and excitement. You're destined for greatness, and girl, you're going to get all the amazing things you deserve. This letter is a toast to you, Alberta, to the love you give yourself, the energy you pour into others, the journey you're on. Here's to being the best person who has hope, no matter who crosses your path. We all have our battles, but you, my dear, you are a warrior of love. Alberta, just know this. I love you. I love me. And that's the best kind of love story there is. With all the love in the world, Alberta. Listen, when I tell you, if you can speak nothing but good things over your life, over you, and you know you are a good person, and you know you have some amazing qualities, characteristics about who you are, and you know people latch on to that energy, you got a job to do. You got a purpose. All of us got a purpose in life. It is important that we continue to find what that purpose is if we have not established what that is. And I think right now for me, I used to get caught up in life, not worrying about things, just caught up in my own life and myself, and turning blind eyes to things in life and what's going on around me. But when you ask for things, God will reveal those things to you. And now that you see those things that you've been praying about, that you've been asking for, reveal itself, you have a job and you have a purpose with what that information is that you have. And you have to love on that. You have to give that thing grace. And you have to make sure that you stand strong in whatever is being challenged and whatever it is that's trying to attack. And I think a lot of times we get hung up in the day-to-day. And people may say, of course you got time to think about yourself because you don't have kids. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have responsibilities. Let me tell you something. One thing I always told myself, one day when I become a mother, I'm going to always make sure I take time for myself. And I don't care if that's 30 minutes, an hour, a trip. I am my priority. As everybody else, as all of my kids, our kid is a priority. My partner is a priority. My career, my life, and everybody that comes in contact with me or if I'm placed in a particular room, I have a job to do. I have priorities all around me. And so I take my time, and I'm going to continue to take my time to unpack things around me, to unpack things that reveal itself to me, and to make sure that in the midst of all the goodness, the craziness, when things are going everywhere, left and right, just feels as if the world right now is chaotic, I will make sure I take time to reflect on those things, to stand still for a moment and understand how important it is for me to show up and understand I have a purpose in life. And I just appreciate the love, the genuine love that is placed around me, that's in my circle of people who give me the love, who hold me accountable to a higher standard, who will do whatever they got to do to make sure I have the tools and the resources to thrive in life, to be successful, and to walk in my purpose boldly, strongly, and making my mark and leaving my mark. And that's my responsibility. My responsibility is to make sure I'm good so I can walk in my purpose. So I knew this episode wasn't going to be that long. And I'm actually teary-eyed right now because I've seen so many things around me, and I've seen so many people around me who don't take time for themselves, who really don't love on them and feed nothing but negativity. But I got a purpose, and my purpose is to make sure that I love on you, that I give with no return, because that's my purpose. And so thank you guys for tuning in to this episode. I encourage you, I don't care if you are male, female, whatever you identify yourself as, that you listen to this particular episode, and that you share this episode with someone who is struggling, who feels good, because even the strongest one, because look, me, I'm strong. You would never know when something ain't right unless you're really close in my circle, right? It's not everybody's business to see when something is chaotic. It's not everybody's business to see when everything is going good, right? Your delivery and how you want to roll out your life and how you want to play out your life, that is on you. But share this episode with someone so we can all continue to thrive, to continue to empower, to motivate each other. And if you never wrote a letter to yourself, I encourage you to do so. I encourage you to send it to me. I would love to read it. I would love to see how you love on yourself. I would love to read your letter, to share your letter with the world if you want me to, or to invite you into my house, my world of my podcast, and you read your letter to yourself. Life is hard. The world that we're living in and that we see on a daily basis is rough. So what you gotta do is making sure that you are good physically, emotionally, mentally, and you're checking on people that's around you. And so, again, thank you for tuning in to Corporate Classy, but please come correct podcast. Until next time, peace.